Hey guys, it's Jim, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to be ranking every Oasis lead single from worst to best. And it's not really going to be from worst to best because I love all these singles, but I thought it'd be fun to sort of put them in order of, good to great, I guess. Before we get into it, if you're a fan of Oasis or British rock, please press subscribe because I talk about these sorts of things all the time. Loads of Oasis content on the channel, loads of Britpop, British rock. So press that button. And also tell me how you would rank Oasis lead singles in the comments below. So number 8 on the list is The Hindu Times. Now it is at the bottom, but I still really like the song. But I actually think that the original version of The Hindu Times is a lot better. There's a demo version that Noel originally done, which is really great. It's really futuristic. It's quite different. It sounds quite sci-fi-esque. And for me, it just represented like a different, more epic direction for Oasis, but they kind of changed the song to just be a straight up meat and potatoes summery rock song, which is fine because that was kind of the intention with Keeping Chemistry. It was basically saying that the regular Oasis rock music was back, and that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. I do really like Liam's delivery on Hindu Times. I think it's a passionate song. I think it's a fun rock song. It's just probably the weakest of the singles, but it is still pretty good. Number 7 on the list is The Shock of the Lightning. I love this from the Dig Out Your Soul album. I love the opening drum and guitar pattern. For me, this is one of the most exciting songs Oasis ever did. It's immediately vibrant and interesting and futuristic and psychedelic. The sounds are really trippy and out there, but it still sounds retro as well. It has that Oasis vibe of retro rock influences, but it feels very forward thinking. It feels very forward moving. I really want to see Liam play this. Please, Liam, play this on one of your tours because it's just a stunning rock song. It's a blast, and it was an example that Dig Out Your Soul was going to be different, but it was still going to hold on to quality. And I feel like this was, at the time, sounded different to everything all the rock bands were doing. So I respect Oasis for going outside the box in Dig Out Your Soul and still bringing us a great, rocky, interesting anthem that was breaking the rules in some way, that was trying to think outside the box, that was trying to be a bit more spontaneous and a bit more otherworldly and strange. Number 6 is Lila, which was the first song from Don't Believe the Truth. And I think this is one of the most underrated songs ever, to be honest. With this album, Oasis wanted to prove that they could still do anthems, but that they were still an interesting band. But they wanted to keep those two camps happy, the camp that thought they should be more interesting and the camp that just wanted anthems. And I feel like Don't Believe the Truth really met those two camps very, very well. Lila is an interesting song. That acoustic-led pattern and the drum pattern and the fact they make a massive anthem out of an acoustic song is really interesting. It's really clever little melody, this song. And I think Liam sounds like £1 million on this. I think he's incredibly charismatic. I feel like this was a time period of Liam just being on top of the world with his voice and his charisma and his style. It was the best of both worlds. He still felt youthful, but he also felt seasoned. And he was able to be a bit more interesting with his voice. And I feel like his delivery on Lila is so hypnotizing. From that first line, calling all the stars to fall and catch the silver sunlight in your hands, it's an immediately attention-grabbing line, and Liam delivers it so well, and it reminded you why you loved Oasis, so they could immediately grab you with Liam's stunning vocal and Noel's incredible lyric and really pierce through and get you on board. And we are into the top 5. This one is Supersonic from Definitely Maybe. Now, people will say I should be placing this higher. You have to remember with my list that always my opinion completely. I can understand someone putting Supersonic at number 1 because this is probably one of the most songs of all time, really. Definitely in the history of British rock music, where you press play and the world of music is changed. From that beginning drum and guitar team up, and then Liam coming in with I Need to Be Myself, I Can't Be No One Else, a whole generation of working class regular people were just unified by this band. Liam captivated them. He just felt like one of them, but he felt like cool and someone to look up to, someone who was a rock star. Finally, they were rock stars again, but he was still a regular person. Oasis just captivated people with their sound, and just I Understand You was the whole thing. Everything about the sound of Oasis and Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, those first two albums, just the sound of the music, I can't really explain it, but everything mixed together was just understanding. The fun, almost Beatles-esque lyrics on top of this gritty rock guitar was about to take over the UK. And it was just bound to be a success because it just captures British life so well. That early Oasis, just the phrases and the gestures and the style of Liam's delivery and everything felt true to life. It just felt honest. It just felt like a reflection of what was going on. Never as a time period been captured so well as the late 90s, mid to late 90s with Oasis. It was incredible what they were able to do. Number 4 is Acest from the Master Plan. What an incredible, stunning, glorious, joyous song. Every time you hear it is an injection of happiness, you know, about being together, about needing each other. It's a unifying song. Oasis were able to pierce through people's souls with a positive message. But up to that point, I suppose the Beatles were quite positive, but Nirvana and all those bands, they'd really just gone for negativity. They'd gone for the struggles of life to hit you. And I feel like many bands will say this, that the best music comes from those frustrated places, those negative places. And Nirvana really tapped into that. And many rock bands tapped into that, frustration and sadness. Oasis understood people, but they gave people positivity. Nirvana slapped you in the face with negativity. Oasis slapped you in the face with positivity, and it worked. You were happy.
I'm not saying it was written directly as a retort to that, but that was my thinking, was fuck that, man. Kids don't need to hear that nonsense. It seemed like to me he was a guy that had everything and was miserable about it. And we had fuck all. And I still thought that getting up in the morning was the greatest fucking thing ever, because you didn't know where you'd end up at night, you know. And we didn't have a pot to piss in, but it was fucking great, man.
And I really respect that with Oasis. You know, I feel like no bands have really done that, really. Pursued positivity, pure positivity, the little happiness of life, the little joys, the small things that make us happy. No band really does that, because negativity is what sells. And Oasis, we need an Oasis again. We need an Oasis. We need a band, rock band, who's going to play those incredible anthemic rock songs that are about being happy and still really work. It was a moment in time with Oasis, and Acest is such a good example of that. Number 3 is Do You Know What I Mean from Be Here Now. This song blows my socks off whenever I hear it, and it's a really bombastic and obnoxious song. And I feel like the people who don't like Be Here Now, they're never going to like this, because it really is like, it's so unapologetically rock. It's so in your face. It's such a wall of sound. But for me, it's a culmination of everything Oasis had done. Then they reached the top, and now they were just basically going to revel in it a bit, going to party on top a bit. But it still felt welcoming to the regular person, because, you know, there were lines in this song that still felt like Noel Gallagher writing those lines he did in the first 2 albums. It didn't feel like, it felt like they were superstars now, but it felt like Noel Gallagher was still willing to write about what he knew. They sounded more obnoxious, but the heart of Oasis was still there. I feel like because I was so young back then, maybe I didn't experience what a lot of people did, where it felt like such a departure, whereas I grew up and then went back to Oasis. Even though I was a kid when they were around, I went back. So I've been able to look at Be Here Now with retrospect and enjoy it for what it is. And I still think, you know what I mean, it's just a monumental chorus that many of today's rock bands would kill to write. Number 2 is Some Might Say from What's the Story, Morning Glory. this is one of the most times where Oasis tapped into those little phrases and those little gestures and those little things that regular people understood. It's so well written, this song, lyrically. It's so understanding of regular life. And it's just about, I guess, you know, carpe diem, seize the day, but it's also about letting things be and just the passage of life. Some might say we might find a better day. Liam singing that brings joy into your heart every time you hear it. And it just felt like he was singing it from what he had experienced. It just felt so honest. And there's a sense of vulnerability to this song, a sense of family values to this song, a sense of Oasis really wanting to celebrate where they were from. It's incredible that Oasis achieved such success by making the mundane Britishness, but making it just the biggest thing, you know, the biggest thing on earth. Like lots of bands, like the Smiths, for example, bands like that, they talked about the mundane, but they stayed in the mundane, whereas Oasis elevated the mundane. That's the great thing, and nothing against the Smiths, because they really channeled it well. But to elevate it was really, really hard. And, you know, some might say is that it understands fully the regular person's life, but it just feels like a complete anthem for people to get joy in their regular lives. I absolutely adore, some might say.
Some might say we will find a brighter day. Some might say we will find a brighter day.
And number one, what I think is the best Oasis single is Go Let It Out from Standing on the Shoulders of Giants.
Ain't no illusion. Try to click with what you got. Taste every potion. Cause if you like yourself a lot, go let it out.
I adore the song. I absolutely, completely adore the song. For any flaws that are in Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, Go Let It Out shows what that album was intending to do. It's psychedelic, it's different, got different drum patterns, it's got different sounds on it, different drum machines and all that kind of stuff, experimental. But that chorus is Oasis, pure Oasis. It's so positive, it's so fills you with energy and electricity. It really, really does. And I love the kind of Beatles plus that this song is. I love the sounds on this. It's such a well-produced album, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, and I just feel like this is their most memorable song for me. You know, I know lots of people will place lots of songs over it, but for me, Go Let It Out, I'll never get tired of it. That chorus is incredible, you know, and Liam belting that out is incredible. It feels like a moment in time. It feels like one of the biggest things on planet Earth whenever you hear him singing that chorus, Go Let It Out.
So go let it out. Go let it in. Go let it out. Don't let it in. And go let it out.
And I felt there was such vision on Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, and I was really impressed with the ambition on display with this album. It's one of my favourite Oasis albums because it really was forward thinking and experimental and wanting to take Oasis forward. A lot of people just weren't ready for it yet, but I think in retrospect it's one of the best Oasis albums, and Go Let It Out is one of their best crafted anthems ever because it sounds like something otherworldly when you first hear it. What do you guys think of my ranking of the Oasis singles? Do you agree with me or do you not? What is your order? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Again, please subscribe if you love to talk about Oasis and British rock. And I will see you guys in the next video.